So which UK trading app or broker is the best? And this is really important because the wrong one will lose you a lot of money. And another problem is, who can you trust? Because everyone's got an affiliate link these days, and you ask them why the broker's good, they don't actually know or care because they're getting paid if you sign up. So in this video, I'm going to go through 8 of the most common UK brokers, and we'll cover everything that they do, and I'll rank them 1 to 8. So first up, we've got Israeli-based Plus 500, and this is a funny one because I don't know a single Plus 500 client. Now, this comes in at number 8. Personally, I would avoid this broker because they take on client risk, and you can see this because it's listed in the UK. They've got client risk, which basically means they've got P&L based on how well clients are doing. So they make money off your losses, which is the goal. So I would avoid this. But does it have spread bet? Yes, it does. Does it have ISA? No. RSP, which is the retail service provider, which connects you to market makers, doesn't have that either. DMA, yes. But for me, I think this broker is a complete avoid. Again, don't know anyone using it, wouldn't use it myself, so it goes in the bin. Next up, it's US-based broker webull. Now, this is becoming quite popular in the UK because there are a lot of affiliate links. So like in 2020, when we had Trading 212 and free trade, everyone was pushing the refer a friend. That's now happening. And now this is regulated by the FCA. All brokers in this video are regulated by the FCA. Personally, I would not touch a broker that isn't regulated by the FCA because when it's covered by the FCA, you've got your 85,000 financial services compensation scheme, which means that if a broker does go bust, then you are covered for up to £85,000. And when you see these Instagram traders with a rented Lambo pushing a broker overseas, then that's not covered by the FCA. If you lose money, that money is gone. And the reason you see all of these traders with affiliate links is because they get paid a lot. For example, I got an offer of $30,000 to sign up with a broker. Didn't take it because they're basically going to run a B-book. They know that losing traders will lose money. So they sign up. Johnny Punter puts $5,000 in the account. They know within 6 months that $5,000 is going to be zero. All the broker does is take the other side of the trade, and that $5,000 becomes the broker's money, as well as all the commissions and everything on top. So B-book brokers, I would avoid. Anything overseas, not covered by the FCA, I would avoid. But as I said, webull is FCA regulated, so that is a plus. Now, does it have spread bets? No, it doesn't. There's no ISA. There's no RSP either. And there is no direct market access. So the only reason webull comes in at 7 is because I don't know if it runs a B-book or has client risk. It's not a publicly traded company, so I have no idea. Whereas with Plus 500, we can see that in the annual report. So webull comes in at number 7. Again, for me, it's a complete avoid. Next up, we've got etoro, and you'll probably be aware of this one because it offers copy trading, which basically means you can follow a trader on the platform and copy all of their trades. Now, this isn't a bad idea, but I personally wouldn't use it because if you want to trade for yourself, then you want a proper platform, and etoro just doesn't have a proper platform. There's also a charge on withdrawals as well, so that's just not for me. But for example, when we had Neil Woodford, he had a fund that was Woodford Patient Capital. What he was actually doing was investing in speculative farmers, which is not what investors were signing up for. They were signing up for reputable companies, paying out dividends, patient long-term growth. He actually put a lot of the fund into garbage, and in the end, it all collapsed. So for example, one of the companies, he got it listed in the Channel Islands to make sure it was listed and fit the fund's profile. Very dodgy stuff, in my opinion. And etoro, you can follow a trader. They might be a crypto-focused trader and does really well on crypto. crypto might take a bath and then they suddenly decide they're not a crypto trader, they want to be a gold trader. They can just flip and choose onto whatever you want. Personally, I wouldn't do managed funds at all because most funds fail to beat their respective benchmarks. I certainly wouldn't follow anyone on eToro. There are probably some great people on there, but for me, I'd rather manage it myself. And the focus of this video is good brokers. Personally, I don't think eToro is. Does it have spread bets? Yes, it does, because that's how they make a lot of their money. So they'll say, oh, well, it's commission free. Yes, you might not pay an upfront commission, but you will pay a financing fee through the spread bet because that's how they make their money. And they also don't tell you that. So it is, in my opinion, a bit sneaky. No ISA, there's also no RSP, and there's no DMA. So what does DMA mean? That is direct market access. Let's say a stock is 98 bid, 100 ask. What you can do with DMA is go on the order book, so you can place an order onto the bid and go 98 spot 2. And if you get hit, then you've bought the stock at 98 spot 2. Because there's no DMA with this, what it means is you'll pay 100 to buy the stock. So you'll pay 2% higher than what you might have otherwise paid if you had DMA. Now, obviously, if you're on the bid, there's no guarantee of being filled, but you can finesse entries and exits by using DMA. So for me, it's quite important. But eToro, for me, an avoid, comes in at number 6. Next up, we've got Trading 212, which was very popular along with free trade during the 2020 and 2021 mania. For me, this isn't really a serious broker. It's great for beginners and it's great to play around with small amounts of money. But if you want something serious, this is not the broker. Now, does it have spread bets? No. However, it does have an ISA, which is a positive because you've got your stocks and shares ISA, which means all gains in that ISA are tax-free. So that is a big bonus. Does it have RSP, which connects you to market makers? No, it doesn't. And again, no DMA, so you can't get better prices on the order book. But if you want to get your feet wet into stocks and you don't really have a lot of money because it's commission free, then it can be ideal, because if you have to pay £12 a trade and you're only trading with 50 quid, you can see very quickly that is not going to work out. But Trading 212 in at number 5. Next up, we've got Interactive Brokers, which is a very big and popular broker in the US, and you can use it in the UK too. Now, this is one of the more serious brokers. I have used it in the past, but decided against it, which we'll see why. But does it have spread bets? Yes, it does. Now, spread bets are tax-free. However, they do come with a financing charge. So the cost of carry now can be the interest rate plus the relevant benchmark. Some brokers you can have as high as 7 or 8% per annum on a spread bet. So suddenly, several years ago when money was cheap and you could borrow at 1 or 2% and you expected returns on the S&P 500 would be around 10%, that wasn't too bad a trade. But now if you're going to pay 8% carry, suddenly it's a much higher benchmark. So you've got to be more active and be a lot more profitable in order to make this worth it. But it does have spread bets. Does it have ISA? Yes, it does. So that is also a positive. So people in the UK can get their tax-free gains. Does it have RSP? No. Unfortunately, it does not. And this is a really big problem for me, because it's fine if you're going to trade FTSE 100 shares. You can get in and out with DMA, which it does have. So that is a positive. If the spread, if you think on Vodafone or Shell, is like 2, 4, 6 bips, it's very, very small. And you can't use RSP, which connects the market makers, so you can get a better price within the spread. That means you're going to pay the full spread every time. So if you're trading smaller stocks and you can only use DMA, then this isn't going to be suitable. And also, Interactive Brokers only has order book listed stocks. So that's set Stocks Only, the flagship trading platform for the London Stock Exchange. SetsQX, or market maker driven stocks, which is very much the small cap market, are not available on Interactive Brokers. So it's not a terrible broker, but unless you're a FTSE 100 scalper, I would probably avoid it because there's no RSP, which means you can't trade small caps, and also you can't get better prices than on DMA. And as I said earlier, if you're on the order book, you can get a better price than the DMA, but if, let's say, the bid is 85, the ask is 90, and you want to sell, that means you've got to pay 85 or whatever size is there at 85. Whereas if you hit the RSP, market maker might offer you 86. You've got price improvement there, but that is not available with Interactive Brokers. So Interactive Brokers for me comes in at number 4. Next up, we've got CMC Markets. Now, this has been around quite a while. Finally, we're getting to the more serious brokers, and CMC does have spread bets. And recently, it also added an ISA, so it has the ISA. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but it also now has RSP as of 2024, and we've got DMA available as well. So we've got all 4 options. There is a phone dealing charge available for £25, I believe. But phone dealing is good to have. Obviously, you don't want to be calling up all the time if you can do it on the platform. But if you need someone there, it is there. So for me, this is a broker that is worth checking out. I don't personally use it myself, but I don't think there's anything wrong with this broker. They're not paying me to say this. No broker is paying me to say this. But check CMC Markets out. If you like small caps and UK stocks, I think it's worth checking out. Because also it is listed on the stock market, so you've got that security that you can actually see the accounts. When a company is private, you don't really know the state of the balance sheet or what is going on underneath the hood. But when it's listed, and I'm not saying that people can't fraud through accounts, they absolutely can, but it's just less likely that something bad is going to happen if a company is listed. And we've also seen the share price surge in 2024 because the institution side of the business is going well. And if the institution side of the business is going well, the business is probably going well overall, especially for retail. Now it's got the RSP edition. To be honest, this was one of the reasons I didn't sign up with CMC, because there was no RSP, as I described with Interactive Brokers. But that puts CMC firmly in 3rd and a good broker, in my opinion. So coming in 2nd, we do have spreadex. This broker has also been around a long time and is a small cap specialist. So they will typically look at even companies as low as 5 million on spread bet. So if you're the sort of person who likes micro caps, then great. But also if you want to trade the FTSE 100 on a spread bet or FTSE 250 stocks, you've got that option as well. But this is the unique identifier for spreadex. They will actually go where other brokers won't on the small cap stocks for leverage, which can be risky, but all I'm doing here is saying what is available. They do not have an ISA. The platform itself doesn't have RSP. However, not a lot of people know this. If you dial and call them up, you can ask to deal inside the spread on RSP, and then it'll be booked onto your account. So RSP is available if you call. There's no charge for calling, but it's not available on the platform, so just be aware. Does it have direct market access for CFDs? Yes, it does. Now, I am personally a client of spreadex. I don't really use them that much, but it is a good broker if you are using small cap leverage stocks. I don't use the CFD platform. Again, you can't use it for ISA because it doesn't exist. But if you're a small cap specialist wanting to trade UK stocks on leverage, spreadex is definitely a recommended broker from me, coming in at number 2. So finally, we come to IG Group, which is the GOAT. For me, it is the best broker in the UK by far because it has everything. It does everything. I've never had any problems. I personally have been a client since 2015, so yeah, quite a while now. Does it have spread bets? Yes, in my opinion, its spread bet platform is the best in the business because you press and you instantly know if you've been filled or not, whereas with some of the other spread bet providers, you might get a spinny wheel and you'll get told if you've been filled like 30 seconds later. You also get price improvements on IG, so the spread that is on the platform, you might actually get a better price because you'll get a price improvement, so that is also a bonus. Does it have ISAs? Yes, it does. Does it have RSP? Yes, so you can interact with the market makers and you can also be a market maker yourself with DMA. So I've got family accounts here as well. IG is definitely the best broker in the UK for UK stocks. Is it the best for Forex? No idea. Is it the best for indices? No idea. I don't trade those. They've also recently added options onto the platform with the acquisition of Tasty Trade. I don't trade options yet, so I've got no idea how good it is for that. But in terms of UK stocks, IG is the best. You've also got the benefit that it is listed, so you can go through all of the accounts. Now, IG doesn't profit from client risk. It makes its money from financing fees and commissions, and obviously pays gambling duty on the spread betting, so they're making money from that. It always was a spread bet provider, and then the ISAs came later on. But the commissions here are quite cheap. It's £3 a trade if you trade enough, or it's £8. For example, Hargreaves Lansdown is £11.99, I think. So it is one of the cheapest. It's not free like a lot of the brokers are. However, you are getting RSP and DMA, so you are going to get a better price. And I remember I signed up to the Gyro or the Hero, however you pronounce it, the Dutch broker. Commission free, I drank the Kool-Aid. Didn't realise that RSP and DMA matters because the spread was 10%. I ended up paying the full ask, and I would have just been better off paying the £8 commission and buying on IG because I would have been better off with a better price, even including the commission. So that wraps up the best brokers in the UK. Love to hear any questions. Let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one in a few seconds.